fall. How unexpected.
Here, hatchling.
Are you ready, my champion?
Your absurd defiance ends here, hatchling.
Are you ready, my champion?
Yo guys, things are going crazy right now. We are reaching 1 billion DPS, which is wild. So still, we're using the champion banner as the backbone. If you haven't checked my last video, feel free to check it. It's a champion banner static strike, which is 100 million DPS, super fast, super tanky, can do all contents. So what changed here is we are now using the buffed Facebreaker. So this league, it buffed so it can deal up to 1000 more fizz damage. And with this Runegraft, you can get 20% increased bonus from gloves, which means 1200% more fizz damage. That is already insane, right? But the pain point for Facebreaker builds is that the flat fizz damage is really hard to get. So you can get from the Abyss's helmet, unique helmet, which gives 50 flat fizz, but it also have a huge downside of taking extra damage. And then you can only get from the jewel sockets, which gives you like 10, 20, or at most 30 flat fizz, and that's it. So how do we make this greater? The game changer here is Rallying Cry from the Mercenary. If you don't know what it does, so the buff grants added attack damage equal to 4% of the damage of your main hand weapon per 5 power, and maximum at 30 power, which can grant 24% of the damage of your main weapon. And now we equip the Mercenary with a very high fizz damage weapon. The crit chance and the attack speed doesn't matter. So with 800 flat fizz from this weapon, and with 24% as added damage, so the buff can actually grant around 200 flat fizz damage, which is already insanely broken. However, we can still amplify this number with the Warcry buff effect. So we have 25% buff effect here, 36% effect when there's a unique enemy from the implicit, 17% effect from boot implicit, and from this 4 annoyance, all about Warcry annoyance, it in total gives 40% buff effect and some duration and cooldown recovery so that it can cover 100% uptime. So all this together, it gives around 120% increased buff effect. And in the end, the Rallying Cry gives us more than 400 flat fizz. And if you consider the 1200 more fizz damage, so this equals to a weapon which has 5000 flat fizz on the weapon. Now you can imagine how crazy it is. The Mercenary also has some chill and reduced enemy damage, and then the Assassin's Mark and some defense choice. So that's everything. And for the character, it's as mentioned, it's champion banner backbone. And for the skill tree, it's the similar as the last video, which are like Valors, Warcries, crits, rage, accuracy, and some impales. And we also leverage the Watcher's Eye, which can give you 2 additional hits for impales. And then we can make use of, oh damn, I forgot to respec into this node. which means that for the video I was showcasing, I was actually losing 30% of the damage. Damn. Okay, so let's respect. Okay, so now the Impale lasts 8 hits, so this node gives you around 50 flathers and 1k armor, which is huge. So for everything else, just feel free to check my POV. Some notes here. First of all, for the mercenary, you can only get from this swift blade. There is another mercenary that also has running cry, but it cannot hold two-handed weapons. So this is the only one that can hold two-handed weapons while have that running cry. And then you can use any backbone. So the core item is Facebreaker and the mercenary. Everything else, including the passive tree or Ascendancy, you can, including the skill itself, can be anything you like, you want to customize. Just this one and mercenary. That's all. I hope you can build your own flavor of builds. And yeah, thanks for watching.